What the hell is going on in the NBA playoffs? Boston Celtics down 1-0 after dropping game 1 in pretty heartbreaking and uncharacteristic fashion. What did they do in game 2? Favored by 10.5 points. Do they go out and put a generational ass whooping on the New York Knicks? No, they don't. They proceed to do the exact same thing they did in game 1. Mind-boggling stuff. I mean, the two games were doppelgangers. We had 20-point lead, frittered away due to careless turnovers, awful shooting, and ineffectual defense. And that is why the New York Knicks hold a 2-0 series lead going back to New York. I'm not mad. I'm not even indignant. I love to see the Celtics get their asses beat. But what the hell is going on in these playoffs? We have Cleveland Cavaliers. We have them storm out to the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference and roll through the first round with little opposition. Now they're playing Indiana in the second round, a team headed by the absurdly zesty Tyrese Haliburton. Do they show out and ball out and win their games in Cleveland as you would expect? No, they don't. They let Haliburton's zesty ass just run all over them. Well, not quite, but you know what I mean. Another instance of a team holding a generous lead, this time only in game 2, and then frittering it away. I thought the Bucks' collapse in game 5 was horrendous, and it was. But Cleveland put them to shame. Unbelievable stuff. It makes for great television, but what the hell is going on? In these playoffs, I think the number is there have been 5 comebacks from 20 points or more down. 4 of those 5 games have featured either the Knicks or the Pacers. Incredible stuff. Jalen Brunson showing out. Tyrese Haliburton showing out, as much as I hate to admit it. I don't like the guy. His dad is no, we're not talking about his dad. Just insane stuff. And frankly, we're only one Aaron Gordon putback dunk away from it being 6 comebacks of 20 or more points. And I'm still not sure that he got that dunk put in time. Bizarro stuff. I don't know what's going on right now in the NBA. I don't know if the TV ratings were down or if it's all predetermined. But this is fantastic television. I cannot stop watching because these teams race out to these enormous leads and then fritter them away. Whew. I'm ecstatic if I'm the Knicks or the or Indiana, but I'm here less to express my shock at the current state of affairs in the NBA playoffs, as I am to really just ask what the panic level is in Cleveland and in Boston. I think in Cleveland, the answer is it's high. It's definitely high because you come out flat. It's very difficult to play in Indianapolis, as my Bucks were shown the door in paltry 5 games. But more importantly, they also are dealing with injuries to Darius Garland, DeAndre Hunter, and Evan Mobley, 3 integral pieces. So they're going to have to sort through some things if they have any chance of even sending this tournament or sending the series back to Cleveland. I think with the Boston series, and this was reflected in some of the attitudes expressed by Mazzulla and other staffers of the Celtics, I think there's not so much panic as there is just a need to reset and refocus, because the fact that they've had 20-point leads in both games 1 and 2 reflects a sort of dominance and an ability to play high-level basketball versus the Knicks. They swept them in the regular season, and I know that doesn't necessarily mean much, but still, they've shown that they can play at a high level versus New York. They've just had sort of inexplicable just collapses, and periods of shooting that makes the Arctic look like the equator. So I think with them, it's less about how do we adjust our play style, as it is just about how do we not lose our minds, because that's basically what's happened in the late third quarter and fourth quarter of each of these games. So I think that the panic level is less because they know they can play with the Knicks. It's just more about, okay, how can we let a team that's clearly worse than us, or how can we prevent this team that's clearly worse than us from knocking us out in what might be 4 games? Because quite frankly, if they lose this next game, I think they're losing game 4. If they lose either of these 2 games, I think they're losing the series, and I think that's pretty obvious, or at least I think that's pretty possible. Sorry. But, we'll see what happens. Because I think if Boston wins the next 2 games, Boston wins the series. I don't think it's going to be easy to win in Madison Square Garden when everyone's all hopped up and Spike Lee's doing his thing on the sideline like the obnoxious little twerp he is. It's not going to be easy to win in games there, but, Boston's won a championship pretty recently, and they should have the poise. But they should have had the poise to at least nab one of these games in Boston. And if they go out in this round, it's actually going to be, I think, the 7th straight year where the defending champ has gone out in the second round of the following playoffs. That is a wild stat. And I'm not really sure what explains it, other than the fact that once you get to the second round, the games really kick into high gear. But yes, I think that if Boston takes both of these next games, they win the series. But if they lose one of these games, they're losing the series. I think it's really as simple as that. You either win both and you're in it and you're probably going to win it, or you lose one and it's all over and the streak continues. So I think the panic level isn't so much high as it is, okay, it's time to really lock in. Because if you lose one, whoosh, no defending champions this year. I think with Cleveland, I think Kenny Atkinson's going to need to do some soul searching, and they're going to need to figure out a way to knock off I don't know how they do it, but Rick Carlisle knows how to get these boys to play. They don't depend on isolation offense, and they play as a team. Sort of reminiscent, though not to the same level, as those Warriors teams from the mid-2010s. But I think that it's going to be very difficult for the Cavs to win either of these games in Indy. I think in a similar sense to the Celtics, I think if they win, if they lose both, it's over. I think if they go down 3-1, there's no way they come back. We'll see what happens. A lot of it is dependent on the health of those 3 aforementioned players, but we'll see if they can get it together and do what needs to be done. But it's not looking good in Cleveland. I would put my money on the Pacers right now to win that series for sure, and I'm pretty damn close to doing it with the Knicks-Celtics series as well. Out west, we've got the Warriors-Timberwolves game tonight. I think the Warriors are probably cooked without Curry, but who knows? Jimmy Butler's done insane things before, and it's possible he does it again. And I think the Timberwolves will even that series back up, though honestly, after what I've seen happening out east, anything is possible. In the other series, we saw Oklahoma City put the foot on the gas and boat race the Denver Nuggets last night. That was quite the beating. That's all I got, though, for today's inaugural episode of HuPAC Talk, hosted by me, your host, HuPAC. This is my brand new show where I talk about the stories that I want to talk about when I want to talk about them. And thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all next time.